because it's getting to be the end of the year, I know a lot of you are setting New Year's resolutions, and a lot of you may be thinking about starting to run. Fun little tip that you may or may not know, I actually owe a lot of my running career to a New Year's resolution. And thank you to all of you who just shared. I appreciate that. Thanks to everybody popping on. So just actually my backstory. I thought I could never be a runner. I tried to run back when I was in high school, kind of on summer break. I decided that I was going to be a runner and failed miserably. It lasted for maybe 2 or 3 runs and then decided I couldn't do it. Just didn't have the right guidance. And then I ran a little bit in college, maybe a mile or 2 at a time, nothing too major. And then really it was in graduate school in actually 2011. I set a New Year's resolution that I was going to start running. I ran a 5K in early March, ran a 10K a couple weeks after that, and I ran my first half marathon in the following June. So yeah, it's really getting past those first couple weeks that are so tough for a lot of people. And so I wanted to just get on tonight and offer some tips. Yes. And injury is incredibly common for newbies. So for those of you who have trouble getting through the initial mileage, you're just starting, I would strongly recommend actually starting out with a run walk method. And there are a lot of great programs that you can look up and follow that will be like a couch to 5K that will help you get going. Yes, so if you're looking to add that running as cross training, just do it very slowly. Start by maybe running a couple miles a couple times a week, or maybe run a mile on Tuesday, run a mile on Thursday or Friday, and then run one a couple days later. So if you want to become a runner, one of the most important things you can do is run at least 3 days a week. Your body needs to do things at least 3 days a week, or do the same activity in order to get the physiological adaptations it needs to get better. So if you're just running once a week, you're not going to really get better, or it's going to be really hard to get better. So try to schedule out 3 runs a week minimum. Yes. And then once you're there, look up a Couch to 5K program, or there are a lot of great books out there. I know John Bingham's books are really good. I personally used Runner's World put out a Running for Women book that I followed. I followed their run walk schedule, and that's how I was able to work back up to running for first for 20 minutes and then building up to 30 minutes. So another big tip is not to start out by worrying about mileage, but just go out for time. Don't worry about how fast you're going, but start out by, say, running 30 minutes. Or sorry, not running 30 minutes, run 30 seconds, and then walk a minute or maybe a minute and a half. When you do run very slowly. Run literally as slowly as you can and still feel like you're running. The speed will come later. Initially to work up to running for 20 or 30 minutes straight, you want to start as slowly as you can, and then first focus on lengthening the amount of time that you run for. So work up to running for 40 seconds. And then walk a minute, and then gradually 45 seconds. Just gradually, week by week, build that up, but go slowly. It takes your body a while to adapt, especially at first. So go, just be easy on yourself. And when you're not running quite so fast, it does put a little less stress on your body. Trying to run fast and build mileage at the same time and do a lot of fast for you running is actually a really great way to get injured. So don't do it if you can. Really keep it at what we call a conversation pace. So imagine if somebody was running next to you, that you could actually have a conversation with them. When your knees start to hurt, yes, definitely start adding in some walk breaks. That walking is lower impact than running. That should help. Also make sure that you're strengthening your knees strengthening your hip muscles, which can lead to knee problems. And then also make sure that you're strengthening the tops of your legs and the quadriceps. And yes, slowing down absolutely does make a huge difference. Dawn, I think that from our conversation has worked pretty well for you, which I'm very excited to hear. That's so great. So making sure a lot of knee problems, a lot of knee problems come from the kneecap not tracking properly. If it's like pain, like actually underneath the kneecap or on the inside or kind of below. And so strengthening the quadriceps, the muscles on the tops of your thighs, that helps to keep the kneecap tracking properly. You can also get, if it's just mild knee pain, just until your body gets more used to running, you can get like a strap to support the bottom of the knee. But I'd say just do that maybe if it's a minor pain. Honestly, if you have any type of pain, the safest thing to do is to go see your doctor and have them check it out, make sure it's nothing major. That's always the safe bet, is just to make sure that it's nothing big. If it's pain on the outside of the knee, that's often a sign of a tight IT band. So investing in a foam roller, always really a good idea for runners anyway, because tight muscles and adhesions in the muscles can actually lead to pain in the muscles. So it's a good idea to lengthen the muscles out with foam rolling, but especially getting that IT band nice and loose. It does tend to tighten up, especially in women. You think about, our hips are wider, so our legs tend to stay at an angle, especially our femurs, the long bones of the legs. And so that can cause, in conjunction with cambered roads, most roads are a little bit higher at the top and then go a little bit lower on the edges, which helps rain and everything run off the road. It's great for the road, but that means that one leg sits a little lower than the other every single time you take a step. So that's where some IT band injuries or IT band issues can come from as well. So just keep that in mind. And then also, if you're having a lot of aches and pains, I would suggest, if you haven't been fit for running shoes, go to a running specialty store that does a gait analysis. And cannot emphasize this enough. I mean, it's not enough to just go to, just a general sporting retailer. Really go to that specialty store, get fit for the proper shoes. They'll bring out lots of different shoes for you to try out. And I worked in running retail, running specialty retail for 2 years, and that's one of the most important things I can tell you, is get fit for the right shoes, because underpronation, overpronation, or the rolling in or out of the feet can actually cause some biomechanical issues too that can lead to pain in the joints. And so making sure that you're in the right shoe, and even getting a nice good cushioned shoe, will help absorb some of the shock from the road. So just to summarize, biggest tips for starting to run: take it slowly. Start out with a run walk, especially if you're really building up cardiovascular endurance and you can't go out and run for 20 or 30 minutes at a time. Start with a run walk. The run segments, do them very slowly. And then when you're starting out, don't worry about how many miles you're running. Don't worry about your pace. Just go out and plan a workout for ideally 30 minutes. If you can only do 20, start with 20 and then work up from your endurance from there. Eventually, you'll be able to start running by time or mileage. Honestly, either one is a great way to train, and you'll be running 5Ks, 10Ks, whatever distance your heart desires in no time.